They're all shaking their head no.
What's that? Second, anything?
They're all shaking their head no.
Okay, I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular town board meeting for September 22nd. Ask everybody to please silence their cell phones. Ask everybody to rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I'll ask everybody for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you very much. On the agenda, I have two items to add. One under my liaison report, a comprehensive plan committee member addition, and under engineering, a flow study proposal, amongst other things for Lannon. Does anybody have any of those?
I have a additional full sewer forgiveness, 896 Elliott Drive.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Resident statements. Mr. Davis signed up, I believe he's out in the hall, we can come back to him. Department head statements. Tamara, anything from the clerk's office?
Yes, I have a couple things. I received a letter from the Niagara Falls Country Club. This is a notice that a renewal for an alcoholic beverage license has been applied for by the Niagara Falls Country Club, 505 Mountain View Drive, Lewiston, New York, in the county of Niagara for on-premises consumption at the patio, grill room, and clubhouse. Also, I have the water and sewer re-levy, and I'm requesting approval to place the unpaid water and sewer accounts for the town of Lewiston, 2026 county taxes. The breakdown of water and sewer are as follows. Water is $97,427.78. Master sewer is $48,371.56. Self sewer is $11,561.91, and the town administration charge is $32,100 for a total of $189,461.25. And a complete listing of those who are unpaid is on file in my office. And if you have any questions, you can contact me.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. I just want to say one thing, I state it every year. This means that there's 321 people that didn't pay their water bill. We charge those people a $100 levy fee. We'd love for them to pay their water bill. As you see, to the town, it's $32,100, which I believe, Jackie, correct me if I'm wrong, brings our total since we enacted this well over $400,000.
Oh, yes.
You know, so we want people to pay their water bill, but I guess we'll take their money if they don't want to. So with that, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, and I have one more thing. I received this from the court offices today. Application authorizing the town court to apply for this funding. Accordingly, enclosed, please find proposed resolution for consideration by the town board of the town of Lewiston. The application seeks funding in the amount of $27,635 to provide document conversion services to scan and convert paper criminal files for the years 2018 through 2024 into digital format. And you have the resolution.
Okay, and now therefore be it resolved, the Board of the Town of Lewiston authorizes the Lewiston Town Court to apply for a JCAP grant in the 25-26 grant cycle in an amount up to $27,635. So we get, that'll be a motion, we get a second?
Second.
And we have to do a roll call vote? Yes.
Councilman Jacoby?
Yes.
Councilman Moriel?
Yes.
Councilman Myers?
Yes.
Councilwoman Wester?
Yes.
Supervisor Broderick?
Yes. Thank you very much. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Mr. Davis, I know you were talking to our attorney, we'll go back to you on resident statements.
Andrew Davis, 5300 Town Line Road in Sanborn, concerning the operation of the Hana Tourist Attraction Business at 5368 Town Line Road in Sanborn. Everybody knows all about it, I've spoken many times here. It's apparent the town of Lewiston is unable to enforce its own zoning ordinance and its town code with respect to the owners residing on this property. This inaction seems to indicate approval, as long as it isn't in your backyard or neighborhood. The operation of a Honda tourist attraction in a quiet, rural residential location is sure to disrupt the normal lives of the nearby citizens. The noise from loud music, loud chainsaws, loud announcements from a bullhorn, customers yelling and screaming, ATVs running up and down the property line are some examples. The requirements of a site plan approval and the issuance of a special use permit have not been enforced. Any resident can do whatever. I guess Lewiston officials are okay with allowing this, as long as they don't live next door to it. The town officials have passed new laws concerning short-term rentals, operations of bed and breakfast, and similar businesses in residential areas. Why? Because neighbors protested the loud parties and related parking, health, and safety issues. These property owners must have lived in your neighborhood, because you took action and you put restrictions in place for renting these properties. I believe that the proper steps were going to take place last week with the public hearing scheduled on this issue. The meeting was canceled when the application was withdrawn by the applicant. Nobody seems to submit to the town code or the zoning ordinance. It's just business as usual, as long as you don't live next to it. Our leaders and our government officials tell us they need the assistance of law-abiding citizens to stop the scofflaws and assist law enforcement, which many of us do, to keep the peace. The phrase, quote, "if you see something, say something," is what I adhere to. 99% of the residents in the town of Lewiston are law-abiding citizens. It's that 1% who think they are above the law, say the law doesn't apply to them. They cause all the problems in society. They overburden our law enforcement officers. Just let everybody do whatever they want with less government enforcement is a sure recipe for chaos in society. Enforcing the zoning ordinance and the town code is essential to all of us law-abiding citizens in the town of Lewiston. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Mr. Supervisor, I know it's out of protocol, but would you mind if I just responded to that?
No, go ahead.
Question? I understand the sentiments that have been placed on the record, and I, as the town board, have been intimately aware of the conflict and the issues going on town line. A lawsuit was filed wherein a full restraining order had been achieved against the Kings, who are the operators of that particular event on town line. Since it was filed, there have been multiple negotiations going back and forth with counsel for the Kings, and with respect to the town and its acquiescence or approval of what's happening there, I just wanted to state for the record and everyone here that there has been no approvals of what's taking place on the property. All there has been is an acknowledgement that there's an issue that needs to be regulated, and the speaker rightly said, We need to apply the laws. And prior to last weekend, we really had no communication and no application of town code on that property, on that operation. As of tomorrow, there's going to be a walkthrough on the property by our fire safety officials and some other individuals from the building department. And my understanding is that a full list of compliance issues will be identified and then brought back to the town board and the building department for further negotiation. And the owner has agreed and again, our lawsuit has been withdrawn without prejudice, meaning that it can be brought at any time in the future. And we do have a number of tools within our toolbox, so to speak, to mandate and put pressure on compliance from this point forward. I believe that this path forward is the right one for the town because it doesn't lock us up in endless litigation. It gets what I think both the Kings, the neighbors to their operation, and the town board wants in the circumstance, which is compliance with the town code. Safety for individuals that are going to be there, peace of mind and the ability to enjoy their property for the neighbors, et cetera, et cetera. I honestly think that what is happening right now, this process is the correct one for the town. So the town is not acquiesced to anything there. If we find violations, we are going to hold those people accountable. And I can tell you that I will personally be involved in it, so it's not going to be something that I'm just paying lip service to. The attorney for the Kings has indicated his dedication to safety and immediately agreed to allow our safety officers and inspectors on the premises when we requested. To me, our negotiations went much better than I expected. And so I can only expect and hope that they continue in that direction and to provide your family with a little bit of peace into the future. So I don't want to minimize what you're saying. I just want to correct you in the sense that we are still on the side of the residents, okay? We're still on the side of compliance and safety. And we're going to do it. I mean, I can tell you the town board is deeply committed to doing everything that they can to address everything that all of your issues. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Okay. Chief, anything?
No report.
Tim, anything? Jack, you're on the agenda. Bill Conrad, Deputy Supervisor, anything? Mike Weiss, anything?
Just we started our Cliff Road project, drainage project over there. Things seem to be going smoothly. Probably looking 3 to 4 weeks to complete that project.
Okay. Dan Zano, anything from water? Nothing. Jeff Ritter, anything?
No, on the agenda.
Okay, and Bob, you're on the agenda, Sal. Tim Smith.
Just continuing our fall and winter coming up. Plenty of activities. We're still doing our bocce and cornhole league. We still have our yoga going on. We have our fall crafts, Halloween bingo for the kids coming up. Our trunk or treat with the haunted house at the senior center on October 25th. And forgive me, but we start our skating the day after Thanksgiving. We got about 25 skate dates going, and that continues all the way through February.
The key is to get 25 sponsors.
Key is there, and I even put it out to the masses yet, and we already have 3 of them. So within a day, so
Good.
which is great. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Melinda?
Yes, our new yoga class is working out nicely. It starts 8:15 on Mondays to 9:15, and then we have our regular yoga class, 9:30 to 10:30, and that's working out much better. Also, I want to let everyone know that we're having an open enrollment insurance information event with representatives from various insurance companies on October 7th, 9 to 12. So if you are someone who's become Medicare eligible and need that information, stop in and check it out from 9 to 12. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll add to Tim Smith's report. If you haven't been to our Lower River Road Riverfront Park, the second pavilion is underway. They pour the concrete yet, Tim?
footings are poured, they're forming the wall right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So that'll be the
The
second.
wall should be poured by the end of the week.
Yeah, okay, good. That's the second pavilion. That's all there'll be. There won't be anything else other than a, kayak launch and a fishing pier down below. It'll run parallel to the ground, but as far as any buildings on the property, that's it. We're working with Ed Zimmerman, on the outfall building, putting a, bathroom in there, both a male and female bathroom, so that people don't have to go all the way to the top of the hill. But that's a work in progress, so just a report follow up with Tim, and, it's a great park. If you haven't been down there, please go down there and check it out.
Not today though.
Pardon?
Not today though, it's a little crowded with the construction going on.
Yeah, still, I drove down there, it was still decent, so, okay. Approval of the minutes for the work session on September 8th.
Review and I'll make the motion of approval.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Councilman Morial with the abstract of claims.
Okay, 9/22/2025, I move to approve the regular abstract of claims 24-03371- and 24-03376, and recommend the payment in the amount of $64,822. That's the motion.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye. And I also have another one. I move to approve the regular extract of claims number 25-02384 through 25-02544, and recommend payment in the amount of $546,588.40, plus a post audit in the amount of $7,575.77, and that's.
I'm gonna correct your motion. It's 25-02383, you said 384. So just.
No,
we got a different one.
Oh, okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, sorry, there was a correction.
Okay,
Okay,
so 84 is right.
as read.
Okay. We have a motion, and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Nothing under old pending, nothing under new. My liaison report. So, we worked on the comprehensive plan committee, and we named a bunch of members at our last meeting. And we had still asked for a local farmer to be a part of that committee. Tim Masters thought it was very, very important to have a farmer on that committee. We reached out to a couple farmers, and a couple said thanks, but no thanks. But we had one gentleman step up, and I'm happy to say his name's Dennis Hannon from Hannon Farms. And I will make a motion to put Dennis Hannon on the comprehensive plan committee as a representation of one of our farmers.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Just to update that, I will reach out to Wendell Engineering, who's doing the comprehensive plan study, and let them know we have a full board, and to start scheduling some dates. And at the next meeting, hopefully I'll be able to announce when those meetings will take place. They will not be public meetings, but there will be at least one, possibly two public meetings and public forums where people can speak. So, and then legal, did you have anything under legal?
I just handed the board, a copy of the report from the Board of Ethics, who had met on, I believe, I'm just looking at the document, August 18th initially, and then met again last week on September 17th in my office, to consult about the issue that was referred to them. The report is rather concise. It effectively goes through, what they learned, and provides the town board with some recommendations for the future. At the end of the day, they ultimately unanimously found that there was not an ethics violation, but certainly certain things that the town board can take into consideration to avoid this in the future.
I'm gonna read it if you don't mind.
Not at all.
Okay, it's from the Town of Lewiston Ethics Committee, Suzanne Pardee Chair, and it's to Alfonso Maravax, our attorney, and the members of the town board. And it's in regards to the conflict of interest inquiry with President's Park. It says the members of the Town of Lewiston Ethics Committee met on 2 occasions to discuss an ethics complaint related to work of the Town of Lewiston Planning Board regarding the President's Park Development Project. After discussion, the Ethics Committee provides the following results of our conversations and recommendations to the town attorney and town board. On Monday, August 18th, 2025, all 5 members reviewed written information provided to us regarding the alleged ethics violations. Following this review of the information available at the time, the committee voted unanimously that an actual conflict of interest did not occur. To receive further information, the committee met again on Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. 4 members of the ethics committee were able to attend, along with the town attorney and one of the parties involved in the complaint. After hearing more specifics regarding the complaint and important details regarding discussions among the parties, the committee members, excluding Mr. Bax, voted unanimously that while an appearance of a conflict can be argued, that no actual conflict of interest has occurred in this manner. Number 3, from what we have discussed and learned through this process, the ethics committee recommends that the town board develop and distribute guidelines to all of its citizen advisory committees that should include but not be limited to the following. Committee members should immediately disclose any actual or potential conflicts of interest on issues in which they are involved. Committee members should refrain from any public comments on issues under their review outside their official proceedings. Committee members should refrain from comments on political issues or individuals. This communication has been unanimously approved by the ethics committee. Thank you very much, it says. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Engineering, Bob Lanin.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, we have a proposal in front of you dated today, titled the Northern Drive Area Flow Monitoring, Program proposal. Before I get into it, I'd like to introduce Ed Bradfield, who's here. Ed is our proposed project manager. He's done many of these before in his career, including some for the town. So if there's any technical questions, I'm sure Ed can do a better job than I can in answering them. So it entails basically 3 tasks. First one is flow metering and smoke testing. I propose to have 8 flow meters installed with on the attached figure. It should be identified as those little red diamonds there. We're going to put flow meters for a period of up to 3 months. We want to try to collect a sufficient amount of both dry weather flow data and then wet weather flow data and compare the two to see what impacts wet weather does have on the sewer system. Included with that would be the installation of 2 rain gauges to check a very localized rainfall in that area. A lot more accurate than using, like, say, the Niagara Falls Airport rain gauge, for example. So we're going to collect, hopefully the weather will cooperate with us. We'll collect data for over 3 months. We'll then get that data, we'll evaluate it, we'll compare what they call rainfall-derived infiltration and inflow. We'll use that in some more analytics to compare wet weather flow versus dry weather flow, rain intensities, rainfalls and durations and such. And once we crunch all the numbers and the data, we'll compile a report that'll estimate the amount of infiltration and inflow that's entering not just the Morgan Farm area as well as what we believe will be coming from the village as well. So that's kind of a high level background on the proposal. We'll love to answer any questions that the board may have.
So, Rob and I have been working with our engineer, with Jeff Ritter, with Tim Masters, with now Mike Weiss, and trying to get some solutions to issues of known areas that have experienced flooding in the town of Lewiston. Woodland and Forest, Morgan Farms, those 2 areas, Cliff Road, which is what Mike Weiss had reported on earlier. So we had a meeting, and this was determined to address the Morgan Farm subdivision and the Village of Lewiston border, where it comes directly down 8th Street. Drain pipe comes directly down 8th Street in the Morgan Farm subdivision, and we just want to make sure that that isn't part of our problem. This is something that we've been asking for, so I would make the motion to authorize GHD to do this study for a lump sum fee of $103,700, which will come out of our H97 fund, which is funded by the Power Authority for infrastructure and infrastructure improvements with this, which this is, and it's extremely needed. And with that, it's a motion.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions?
No, the flow meter, just real quick, because somebody asked me, I want to have some kind of idea. It says here install, maintain 8 flow meters. What is it? Is it a computer thing you put I don't know what's here.
Go ahead, Ed.
So they're like a little puck. They have an ultrasonic sensor and, usually a Doppler or a, pressure sensor in them. And they measure the velocity that comes down a sewer. And then they also measures the depth as well, so that you can get a feel for how the sewer is behaving.
So would it get stuck on like the side of the wall of the sewer?
Yeah, usually you put it right on the bottom of the pipe, or sometimes you put a little off if, you feel like there's, some sediment issues or something in the sewer. You can put a ton of them in there if you really wanna get some really high level data, but that's normally not necessary.
And then the rain gauges, where would they go?
One we're gonna put on the village, pump station that goes into the town, we used that before. The second one, we'll likely put on, wastewater treatment plant property, where, people can't, cause issues with it.
I just have a couple of questions too. Will you explain the, smoke study? Cause I was thinking like dye study, but if you could clarify the smoke.
Yeah, so, smoke testing, it's a common, way of finding leaks and things. You use them on, like car engines to, try to find out where you got leaks coming out. You do the same thing with sewer systems. You blow smoke into the sewer manhole, and then if there's, say, a cross-connected catch basin that's going into the wrong sewer, or, a broken pipe, you'll see smoke coming out of the ground at the various points.
Okay, so it's like for your infiltration.
Yeah.
Basically.
So it's a quick and easy way to figure out where that water could be coming in.
Okay, and then, my other question is you've got a flow meter that's gonna be put down, at the Lewiston landing site? I think that'd be the pump station?
Yes.
Okay, where does that actually connect to?
So that connects upstream of the pump station, so this would tell us, how much flow is coming into the pump station. The town has a magnetic flow meter attached to the, pump station itself, they use for billing. And then, we'll be able to look at how much flow is coming at the pump station, how much the pump station is actually pumping, and determine whether there's, too much flow coming in.
Okay, so that pretty much, takes care of the village
Yes.
then? Okay, so we're
Yeah.
looking at where, there might be a potential issue with water coming in from the village
Yeah,
into
and then,
the town system.
and then there's that next one north, in the town areas where, that'll isolate sewers within the town as well. So you'll know what the village is putting in, what the town's putting in, and be able to figure out where the issues are.
I might have misunderstood, did you say are you done, I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
There were gonna also be in Morgan Farms, there were gonna be one or two of the flow meters.
There'll be 6 more, in the Morgan Farms area.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And it's just fascinating to see where our, sewers actually are, and how they're actually, some of them not connected, like in a straight line.
Yeah,
Going
it's,
right down,
it's pretty
so.
wild.
Uh-huh, so thank you very much for that information.
Okay, so with that, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, guys.
Do you need a motion to be able to sign the agreement?
Sure, we'll make a.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, I'd like to make a motion to have the, agreement with GHD to do the, sewer study to be signed by, Supervisor Steve Robert.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Finance budget revisions.
Tonight I ask for the board to approve the budget revision that I previously, submitted with your board packet.
I reviewed it with Jackie this morning actually, and I'll make a motion that we accept the budget revision.
Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you. Also tonight I ask that the board accept the 2026 tentative budget as submitted. I'd like to thank the supervisor, the board, all of the department heads, and all of their staff who are working very collaborative with me, keeping in mind all of the residents and the tax levy, and I appreciate all their hard work.
I'd like to thank you and Isaiah for everything you guys did with the supervisor for going over it.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
quorum justices, 32,397, and council members, 16,383.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Is that it, Jackie?
That is it.
Okay, thank you very much. And the better news is, we had a day scheduled to meet with all the department heads. From what I understand, there's only one.
Only one department.
Only one department wants to meet. So you'll let everybody know when, I mean, it'll be on that date, but whatever time is best for everybody?
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
It'll be October 9th.
Yep. Councilman Jacoby.
We only have one thing, the Sanborn Fire Company submits for active membership in said fire company, name of Margaret Bloom, that's B-L-U-M. She's from Griffin Street in Sanborn, and she's a resident of Sanborn, and I make that a motion that we approve that.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And that's it for me.
Okay. Councilman Morial.
Yes, I have, two sewer forgivenesses that have been approved by Jeff Ritter from the Water Pollution Control Center. I have one from Mark Giannini at 5051 Marywood Lane in the amount of $49.71 sewer forgiveness. And I'll put that motion to accept the forgiveness.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Then I got a second one from Lisa Rivera at 896 Elliott Drive for $53.83. And that's also a motion for forgiveness.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So we have a grass cutting leaving that we put out. People that don't cut their grass, the town goes out and has them cut. And for the grass cutting law, we've had 18 parcels in the town cut. The total fees for the cuttings are $6,978.75. There's also a $100 administration fee per cutting, with a total of $3,300. So the total grass cutting fees for 2025 are $10,278.75. We need a motion on that, or?
Yes.
Okay, that'll be a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What sort of notice do we give to these people, those who want?
You send a certified mail, and they have 5 days to cut it after they get that.
Do we get any response ever that people?
It's usually vacant parcels that are on the foreclosure list,
Oh.
or abandoned parcels,
Yeah.
something like that, so.
Okay.
It's generally not somebody that's living in the house.
Right. Okay, thank you.
So with that, we have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilman Myers.
A couple correspondences from the Sanborn Historical Society. On Saturday, October 18th, at the Farm Museum, they're having their ham dinner from 4 to 7 p.m. until sold out. The dine-in and takeout, ham, scalloped potatoes, wedding cabbage, squash, apple sauce, cornbread, dessert. Adults are $16 and kids 12 or $5 for that fundraiser. And they also have their regular meeting of the Historical Society on October 28th at 7 p.m. at the Farm Museum. There will be the speaker series entitled Songs and Stories of the Erie Canal by Don Dwyer. So that's at 7 p.m. With refreshments. Also, we're looking to put together a Sanborn beautification committee. Gentleman, Glenn Winkie, who is the Sanborn treasurer, is unfortunately not able to completely handle all the flower beds, things that are scattered around Sanborn that, really enhance the beautification there. So we're looking for some willing volunteers, who might be able to come out and attend those beds, planting in the spring, weeding here and there. So if anyone is interested in that, they can reach out to Town Hall, contact me, and, we can put some people to work to, not just saying keeping Sanborn beautiful.
And our water department waters it, so it's just a matter of a big spring cleanup, and an occasional, cleanup, but yes, so pretty much one day commitment, but yes, hopefully we can get that committee. We had one gentleman who did it before, and hopefully if we can get 5 or 6 people to volunteer, it'll be a lot easier, so, thank you. Councilwoman Wagner.
Okay, yes, I have some recreational seasonal hires, and it is, a request, and it will be a motion to please approve the following seasonal hires in the recreation department for the fall winter recreation season. They will be starting their hours October 1st, 2025, and it would be Charles Deepman, recreational leader, at $16 per hour. Victoria DiCarlo, recreation leader, $16 per hour. Olivia Virtuoso, recreation leader, $16 per hour. And Ariana Soretto, recreational aide, at $16 per hour.
So it's a motion?
And that is a motion.
We have a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye. And then my last thing is that we have completed the bid package for the senior center, and we do have our list of contractors, and I do believe that has been submitted to them, and also I believe it's been put on the website, but I'm not exactly sure. But we are having a walkthrough for contractors on October 2nd to look at the project. I'm hoping that we actually get response and we get contractors at that walkthrough, because as questions come up, we'll be able to answer them right there. And then we are looking at the bid opening of being October 15th at 11 a.m. Bids will be due and they will be open immediately after.
Awesome.
What was that for, the bathrooms?
It is for the bathrooms, both men and women's bathroom, and then also the kitchen.
And I'd like to thank Councilwoman Wector for, putting a lot of effort into that. And hopefully we can, like you said, we get bids and we can take care of it, so, thank you. Resident statements, any of you young, entrepreneurs wanna speak? Come on, don't be shy. Okay, see a lot of ducking back there. Upcoming board commission meetings, historic preservation meeting.
We don't have anything scheduled in, I'll talk it over here.
Okay, so that's not, well, if it's gonna occur, it'll be October 7th at 5:45
Definitely
p.m.
won't be one this.
Okay, so there won't be one. Zoning board is October 9th at 6 p.m. Town board work session will be October 16th at 6 p.m., which is a Thursday because of the holiday. And the planning board will be October 23rd at 6:30 p.m. And the regular town board meeting is, hold on 1 second, please. October 27th at 6 p.m. With that, I ask for a motion to adjourn. Second. No, I'm asking for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Come on up, Deputy Supervisor, can sign your sheets. Anybody on the board can sign your sheets. So,